What is a CPU and how can I install one in a computer? Well, let me tell you a little bit about what this is. First, you can see a little bit of thermal paste on here, and that's because this one's been used before. We're actually swapping it out and putting it onto this new ASUS Z690 Maximus Extreme motherboard, which is a crazy powerful motherboard. This, however, is an Intel i9-14900K. It has a tremendous amount of power and needs a extremely powerful board if you're trying to do really fancy things. So what exactly is a CPU? A CPU is called a central processing unit because it's really the heavy brain of the CPU. And if this is the brain, this motherboard is the spinal cord, all right? And then we have short-term memory and long-term memory underneath here. And this is where the RAM goes in these slots. Here is the CPU socket. The CPU has a number of pins and arrays on them so that you can transfer information in between the different storage devices and other things that you have on the motherboard to make information accessible and understandable to different parts of your computer. What I just did here was undo this retention bracket. This is the retention arm. It's just a little bracket here, right? Super easy to understand when you kind of slow it down. Not complicated. On here, let's zoom in. This has a number of little tiny pins on it. All right, these are kind of at an angle. So if you imagine it like this, right? The CPU is here and the pins are like this, okay? And when you press the CPU down, it kind of presses the pin down and they all match up with these pads on here. This is called a 2011 socket from Intel. And it's because it has 2011 pins. Here, it's pretty easy to put in. Majority of the time, you just have to line up little indents on it, make sure you don't over pressurize it. And then oftentimes there's a little marker on one of the corners, like this here, that you would look for, which doesn't really seem to be apparent on this motherboard. All you do is lightly press it in there. I usually give it a little wiggle. And then close the retention bracket, which automatically pops this off. It's not a very complex mechanism, but it does the job. That makes sure that your pins stay safe because they're very easy to bend. Then you have to apply a little bit of pressure and then you can put the retention bracket back down. It's a very simple process. It doesn't take a lot of know-how, just a little bit of confidence and a little bit of careful, right? You always want to be careful when you're working on a computer because a lot of these components are very fragile and can be easily damaged. But if you take your time and you focus, you shouldn't have any problem whatsoever. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to follow us and share it with your friends because we want to make more of these and we want to make them better. If you feel like we missed anything, please let us know and we'll take it very seriously. You can comment down below and we'll respond to you as well. This is a very important concept to be understanding these days as technology grows and gets further and further into its development cycle. Skills like this can be very handy to be able to help save you money and help you understand other parts of what's going on. We're going to talk a little bit more about RAM in our next video, as well as some of the more deeper concepts of what's actually happening in your computer when you use it. We'd love to see you around, and I hope you follow so you can be a part of it. Take care.